टोरंटो सेंटर से हमारे लिबरल पार्टी के कैंडिडेट जनाब मदर शफीक साहब। मदर शफीक साहब, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर इनवाइटिंग टू द इवेंट। बताइए इस इवेंट के पीछे क्या बैकग्राउंड है?
जी वकास भाई, सबसे पहले तो शुक्रिया आपका कि आपकी टीम हर जगह पे जो भी कम्युनिटी इवेंट्स होती है आप जाते हैं, कवर करते हैं और लोगों तक पहुंचाते हैं। तो आई थिंक इट्स अ ग्रेट वर्क यू आर डूइंग, तो कंग्रेचुलेशन और आपका बहुत शुक्रिया। जहां तक इस इवेंट का तल्लक है तो ये आपको पता है कि प्रीमियर की तरफ से हर साल एक अफ्तार प्रोग्राम किया जाता है, अफ्तार का अरेंज किया जाता है जहाँ पर मुस्लिम कम्यूनिटी को बुलाया जाता है और उसके साथ उस दिन प्रीमियर खुद रोज़ा रखती है और उनके साथ बैठ के फास्ट ब्रेकिंग करती है। तो ये जो है इस सिलसिले का मुझे मेरा ख्याल है कि जब से मैं प्रीमियर ऑफिस में हूँ उस वक्त से हमने शुरू किया इसको और अभी ये मेरा ख्याल तीसरा या चौथा प्रोग्राम ये जा रहा है। अच्छा,
आप बात करते हैं पोल्स की। एक तो ओवरऑल ओंटारियो के पोल्स आ रहे हैं, एक राइडिंग टू राइडिंग पोल्स आ रहे हैं। आपकी राइडिंग में आप बड़ी अच्छी क्लियर विनिंग पोजीशन में जा रहे हैं, ये क्या वजूहत है इसके पीछे?
देखिए जी, अल्लाह ताला का शुक्र है। मैं उसने एक तो जो हम डोर टू डोर जाके मेरी नॉमिनेशन में आपने देखा होगा जिस तरीके से हमने मोबिलाइज़ किया था लोगों को, अल्लाह के फजल से वो बहुत काम आ रहा है क्योंकि ऑलरेडी हमने लोगों को मोबिलाइज़ किया। मेरी बहन जो सलमा है वो एक बहुत बड़ी नेमत है मेरे लिए और यकीन करें कि उसका जो काम है उस राइडिंग के अंदर वो एक ऐसा काम किया है उसने कि हर जगह पे जाके मिलना और हर जगह आउटरीच करना वो भी मेरे बहुत काम आ रहा है। मैं अपने तौर पे सुबह 6 बजे से आप समझ लें कि मैं ऑन हूँ, 7 बजे बस स्टॉप पे जाता हूँ, 9 बजे से लेके 10 बजे तक कॉफ़ी शॉप पे, फिर 11 से लेके 4 बजे तक डायरेक्ट कैनवस कर रहा होता हूँ, फिर 1 घंटा रेस्ट करके फिर शाम को। तो ये समझिए कि सुबह 6 बजे से लेके रात 9 बजे तक ये बिल्कुल कंटिन्यूसली मेरा ये है कि लोगों तक आउटरीच है।
अच्छा, रमज़ान है, ज़ाहिर है एक एनर्जी लेवल होता है। बहुत सारे कैंडिडेट्स जो वो कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि जो हमारे मुस्लिम कैंडिडेट्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं, ज़ाहिर है मोस्टली उनके मुस्लिम कैंडिडेट सपोर्टर्स या वॉलंटियर्स हैं वो भी मुसलमान हैं। वॉलंटियर्स की बड़ी शॉर्टेज आ रही है, ये प्रॉब्लम आपको भी आ रही है?
जी बिल्कुल प्रॉब्लम आ रही है क्योंकि ज़ाहिर है हमारे जो मुस्लिम वॉलंटियर्स हैं वो हमारे पास कम हो गए हैं। लेकिन ये है कि हम दूसरी कम्युनिटीज़ के वॉलंटियर्स को हमने मोबिलाइज़ किया अपने साथ, लेकिन डेफिनेटली ये इफेक्ट तो पड़ा है कि ज़ाहिर है कि भी रमज़ान में रोज़ों के साथ फिर लेट नाइट तरावी पढ़ के आप सोते हैं, सुबह लेट उठते हैं, तो ये जो है ये चैलेंजिंग है।
अगले 2 वीक में क्या फोकस है आपका? कौन से वोटर को आप अप्रोच कर रहे हैं? अनडिसाइडेड को, दूसरी पार्टीज़ के, या लिबरल का जो ओरिजिनल वोटर है उसी को रीइंफोर्स कर रहे हैं?
देखिए उसमें ये है कि हम कोशिश हमारी ये है कि हम 2 टियर में काम करें। मेरा ये है कि मैं अपने जो सपोर्टर्स हैं, हमारे जो वोटर्स हैं, उनको पहले नॉक कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन हमारे अल्टरनेट जो हमारे दूसरे वॉलंटियर्स हैं वो हर एक के पास जा रहे हैं। मेरा ये है कि पहले मैं अपने सपोर्टर्स को, जो वोटर्स ऑलरेडी मौजूद हैं, उनको पूरा कवर कर लूँ पूरी, क्योंकि इतनी बड़ी राइडिंग है और शॉर्ट टाइम इतना है कि इट्स रियली हार्ड। लेकिन उसके साथ साथ हमारे जो दूसरे वॉलंटियर्स हैं दे आर गोइंग एवरी सिंगल डोर। तो उसमें यही है कि हम कोशिश ये है कि हर 6 जून तक हम पूरी राइडिंग को कवर करें।
आपकी जो राइडिंग है बड़ी एक डाइवर्स, बड़ी इमिग्रेंट्स की, फुल ऑफ इमिग्रेंट्स एक्चुअली, उसमें क्या डोर्स पे क्या रिस्पांस है आपको?
देखिए अल्लाह का शुक्र है बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस आ रहा है और मोस्टली लोगों के जो इश्यूज़ हैं वो वही इश्यूज़ हैं कि जो हमें इतने सालों में, और जो वही इश्यूज़ हैं जो मैं आज 1999 में जब मैं यहाँ पे आया था तो वो उन चैलेंजेस को मैंने फेस किया। द सेम इश्यूज़ वही डोर पे मुझे सुनने में आते हैं। उनका मसला वहाँ पे ट्रांजिट का, सबवे का एक मसला है, उसके अलावा जो है उनके क्रेडेंशियल के इश्यूज़ हैं, उनके जॉब्स एम्प्लॉयमेंट के इश्यूज़ हैं। ये सारे वो इश्यूज़ हैं कि जो मैं बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझता हूँ। अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग के इश्यूज़ हैं।
आपने क्रेडेंशियल्स की बात की, बीइंग एन इंजीनियर योरसेल्फ, यू हैव प्रॉब्ली गॉन थ्रू द होल सिचुएशन, ठीक है? तो जो इश्यूज़ आप पिछले 10-15 साल से प्रीमियर ऑफिस में सुनते रहे हैं, कैथलीन विन के साथ आप काम करके देखते रहे हैं, इश्यूज़ पे तो आपको एक अच्छी तरह ग्रिप मौजूद है। आप ये बताएं कि जो पोल्स के अगेंस्ट जो देखें एक जो हवा बन जाती है ना, उसको आप कैसे टैकल कर रहे हैं? जो उस पर कैसे कम्युनिटी को एजुकेट करें? जो दूसरी पार्टीज़ का प्लेटफॉर्म है उस पर आप कैसे इनको एजुकेट करें कि हाउ इज़ योर प्लेटफॉर्म बेटर?
देखिए उसमें सबसे पहली बात यह कि हम जब लोगों के पास जा रहे हैं तो उनसे बातचीत होती है, उनको बताते हैं कि हमारा प्लेटफॉर्म क्या है। उसके बाद दूसरी पार्टीज़ को कंपैरिजन भी दिया जाता है। देखें अभी तक जो है कंजर्वेटिव का प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है। आपने देखा होगा हमने अपना, लिबरल पार्टी ने अपना प्लेटफॉर्म रिलीज़ कर दिया है, NDP कर रही है, लेकिन कंजर्वेटिव ने कोई अपना प्लान रिलीज़ नहीं किया। उनसे जब बात करते हैं तो वो कहते हैं कि हमारा ये प्लान है, हम ये कर देंगे, इस तरह कर देंगे, इतना चाइल्ड बेनिफिट करेंगे, ये करेंगे। लेकिन जब उनसे पूछा जाता है कि कहाँ से कट करके आप ये करेंगे तो उनके पास कोई जवाब नहीं होता। तो मसला यहाँ पे ये है कि आप किस तरह से ट्रस्ट करेंगे जब आपके सामने एक पार्टी प्लान ही नहीं दे रही, तो बाद में जो है आप कैसे उसको जो है अकाउंटेबल ठहराएंगे कि वो उनका प्लान है ही नहीं, आपने प्लान पढ़ा नहीं है। फिर वो कहते हैं जहाँ पे जाते हैं, देखिए आप जब गवर्नमेंट से बाहर होते हैं आप कुछ भी कह सकते हैं, आप कुछ भी वादे कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट में आना और बड़े टफ डिसीजन करने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि आपने आने वाले नस्लों के लिए देखना होता है और कई फैसले ऐसे होते हैं जो बड़े मुश्किल फैसले होते हैं जो आपको करने पड़ते हैं। तो इट्स वेरी इजी, जब आप अपोजिशन में हैं, जब आप बाहर हैं, जो मर्जी कह सकते हैं, लेकिन जब तक कंक्रीट प्लान नहीं होगा उस वक्त तक उसका कोई सेंस नहीं बनता।
बहुत शुक्रिया मदर शफीक,
जज़ाकल्लाह, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
We have Mr. Mohammed Faqih, the owner, the founder, the CEO of Paramount Fine Food, and the founder of the Faqih Foundation. Mr. Faqih, welcome to E-Awaz.
Well, thank you very much for being here and for joining us in this great Iftaar dinner.
So tell us about this event, which keeps on getting bigger and bigger every year.
Well, I don't know what's happening, but as you know, our beautiful, amazing community like to get together, especially breaking your bread together. And it's amazing, alhamdulillah, it's a great deed for everyone. And it's good to catch up with everybody, with you guys. Thank you very much for doing what you do. I always watch you. It's a great event, a great program. And it gets, in Mississauga and Peel and GTA, we're missing programs like this. People need to get connected. And we don't have a radio station, we don't have a TV, so you're playing a great role. And I commend you for the leadership and this program and everything you're doing. Well, this event keeps growing. This year is special. We're about to come to an election in 7 days from today. If the polls are right, I'll be talking about that today in my remarks. I think Ontario is about to make one of the biggest mistakes. But for us as a community, as always, we smile, we accept it, good or bad, because that's what real partners do.
So it looks like you're not only watching the polls, you're believing in the polls as well?
I don't believe the polls. I said if the polls are right. If, right, has to be...
There's a big if.
Of course, it's a big if.
So
and
to the voters who are listening to you,
well, to the voter who are listening to me, we need to be very careful. Yes, it's important to have a change. I'm always about a change. I'm about a great idea, new ideas. But could be a change that we're not realizing that the grass is not greener on the other side. That's number one. And number two, very importantly, none of the other party has someone with experience to lead. And sometimes we're not realizing that we could regret certain decisions. I think the best solution is all parties are in problem in certain way. The best decision would have been is that we have another 2 years consecutive for another liberal government, and then every party will have the opportunity to fix themselves, put themselves together, including the PC party. They got a leader only 3 weeks ago. So they didn't have the time to put a proper platform, and until now we don't know what they stand for, so I don't know how people are gonna vote for them, right? So, and again, Andrea is a great person, don't get me wrong, I know Andrea for years, but again, they need to show that their plan works. And having a math mistake with several $1 billion right off the back, it doesn't help people to restore the trust. I feel bad for myself, for you, for everyone that's voting this election, because we are looking, we keep hearing we want to change, we keep hearing we don't like someone, we maybe like the others, but we're not sure about anything what we need to do. I think sometimes, I would say, and in the best way, the people you know is better than the people you don't know. And most importantly for me, I stand beside people, especially when there is a problem. And for us as a community, we've been seeing a lot of inclusiveness from the Liberal Party, a lot of support from the Liberal Party as a community, as minorities, right? And therefore, I'm calling onto all the community, our leaders, to understand that this election is a critical, and it could be historically a problem, jumping into decisions without being sure, without reading properly the platform, without taking the time to understand this platform. And I think that's the problem today. So whatever the results are, that's what democracy is good about. I'm smiling all the time. It doesn't matter what the results are. The bottom line is very important to cast your vote. Like, it's non-negotiable that you go ahead and vote. That's very important. It's not only your right, it's the right thing to do. That's one. And two is vote for candidates. If you're not sure about any of the platform, vote for people that you know you had experiences with. And most importantly, you need to understand your vote could affect the way you're going to live the next 4 years, and could actually affect the conversations. We've been working for 12 years about a conversation that it's inclusive. And we can't afford for any party to come in and change that conversation today. And that's what we should do.
While I have you here, beside politics, tell us about the Faqih Foundation. What does that focus on?
Well, the Faqih Foundation is only organizing the mess I used to make in my office. So I used to get Paramount, besides selling food, doing a charity and a great events. And me and you have done a lot of good work together for this community. And this greatest TV station and program has covered a lot of them. Faqih Foundation is to organize that. Most importantly, is to call into the private sector, like you do, your family do, my family, on private businesses, to call on them to come forward to help. Because government are bureaucratic. And sometimes there is cases and causes that needs people to move faster. And that's what the Fiqh Foundation will do. And as well, we'll call on partnership with other foundations to work together on causes like the Rohingya now, right? And hopefully next will be Palestine, right? So we're gonna be aligning one cause after the other, where we call on people, private sector especially, to get involved. And please don't tell me getting involved means money. It doesn't mean money, it means volunteering, it means giving your expertise, it means giving what you stand for, including teaching language, teaching a newcomer, a new Syrian comer, right? That will make it very important. So Fiqh Foundation will be a foundation that will do charitable and will support great causes, that's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fiqh.
No, thank you very much for having me, and thank you for joining us for this great dinner. Thank you, thank you.
इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं पिकरिंग ऑक्सफोर्ड से लिबरल पार्टी के कैंडिडेट फॉर प्रोविंशियल असम्बली जनाब इब्राहिम दानियल साहब, जिन्होंने हाल ही में नॉमिनेशन जीती बड़ी लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री से, जो कि एग्जाम्पलरी कैंपेन इन्होंने रन की। इब्राहिम साहब, सबसे पहले तो आपको मुबारकबाद, आपने नॉमिनेशन जीती।
थैंक यू सो मच जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। और इसमें आप सब दोस्तों की सपोर्ट शामिल थी, एंड एक्चुअली मैंने नहीं जीती, वी वन दिस नॉमिनेशन।
थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग द क्रेडिट टू द कम्युनिटी। आज हम डिनर कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, रोज़ा तो खोल रहे हैं, बट वी ओनली नॉट इवन 2 वीक्स, एग्जैक्टली 2 वीक्स बिफोर द इलेक्शन। बताएं कैसी चीज़ें हैं, डोर्स पे क्या रिस्पांस आ रहा है आपको?
देखें जी, सबसे पहली बात तो है कि कैंपेन रोज़ाना की कैंपेन है, मूड रोज़ाना का मूड है। जो मैं इस वक्त मूड देख रहा हूँ, रात हमारे प्रीमियर की डिबेट के बाद लोगों का मूड तब्दील हो रहा है। मैं आपको आज एक वाक़या बता रहा हूँ जो मैं सबके साथ शेयर कर रहा हूँ। मैंने एक डोर नॉक किया तो वो 90 इयर्स सीनियर सिटीज़न थी। उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि मैं रात तक, यानी एक रात तक अनडिसाइडेड थी, लेकिन कल कैथलीन विन की डिबेट के बाद मैंने फ़ैसला किया है कि मैं तुम्हें वोट दूंगी, कैथलीन को वोट दूंगी, ओंटारियो लिबरल को वोट दूंगी।
अच्छा, ये आपने अनडिसाइडेड वोटर की बात की। इस वक्त ज़ाहिर है जब आप डोर नॉकिंग पे जा रहे हैं, मेजर पार्ट तो आपका उधर ही जा रहा है। जब आप डोर पे जा रहे हैं तो यू डोंट नो कि इट्स लिबरल, अनडिसाइडेड और अपोजिट। आपका फोकस इस वक्त कौन सा वोट टर्न करने पे है? क्या जो लिबरल कमिटेड हैं उन्हीं को रीइंफोर्स कर रहे हैं, या नए या दूसरी पार्टीज़ के, या अनडिसाइडेड वोटर्स को अप्रोच कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, सबसे जो डायनामिक्स है बड़ा डिफरेंट है। हमें ये देखना है कि हम 2 किस्म के वोट जो है ना वो हमारे लिए बड़े इम्पोर्टेंट हैं। एक लिबरल का वोट जो कि लिबरल, हार्डकोर लिबरल है, और दूसरा अनडिसाइडेड। क्योंकि अनडिसाइडेड वोट जो है उसने वही फैसला कुन वोट होता है दुनिया भर में, द पीपल सिटिंग ऑन द फेंस। और उसमें वो गालिबन यहाँ पे रवाज ये है कि 2 से 3 दिन पहले तक वो डिसाइड कर लेते हैं। और हमें पूरी तरह उम्मीद है कि लिबरल पार्टी, ओंटारियो लिबरल पार्टी जो है वो ये इलेक्शन जीतेगी, और वी आर गोइंग टू मेक अनदर गवर्नमेंट।
बहुत शुक्रिया इब्राहिम दानियल साहब। आज की इस प्रोग्राम के हवाले से बताएं कि ये जो प्रोग्राम आज इफ्तार डिनर हो रहा है हमारी प्रीमियर के साथ, इसके पीछे क्या वजूहात हैं और इसके बारे में मज़ीद हमें?
देखें, ओंटारियो एक बड़ा खूबसूरत गुलदस्ता है, इट्स वेरी इंक्लूसिव सोसाइटी। और लिबरल पार्टी जो है उसने हमेशा, कनाडा हो या ओंटारियो हो, उसमें उस इंक्लूसिविटी को, उस इंक्लूसिवनेस को हमेशा कहा है कि जो इतनी भी कम्युनिटीज़ हैं उसको सपोर्ट किया है। और मैं ये समझता हूँ कि लिबरल पार्टी, बल्कि ये टू वर्ड्स है कि जो एथनिक कम्युनिटीज़ हैं वो फील सेफ करती हैं लिबरल गवर्नमेंट के साथ, और लिबरल गवर्नमेंट उनके लिए बहुत कुछ करती है। मैंने जैसे कहा, ये गुलदस्ता है, यहाँ पे बहुत सी कम्युनिटीज़, बहुत से मज़ाहब रहते हैं, चाहे जस्टिन ट्रूडो हो या कैथलीन विन हो। इन्होंने हमेशा रमज़ान में न सिर्फ अच्छे मैसेजेस दिए हैं बल्कि हमेशा इफ्तार किया है। अब देखें कि मैं ओटावा भी इफ्तार करने गया हूँ, और कैथलीन ने पिछली दफ़ा भी रोज़ा रखा था, और उन्होंने, और ये टोकन रोज़ा होता है, आपको अंदाज़ा ही है कि इसका मतलब क्या होता है। तो उसमें यह है कि ये एक एनुअल फीचर है, ये इफ्तार, ये नहीं है कि इलेक्शन से पहले इफ्तार है, ये जस्ट एनुअल फीचर है, और हमेशा ये इफ्तार होता है।
बहुत शुक्रिया इब्राहिम दानियल साहब।
थैंक यू वेरी मच जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
I'd like to again welcome everyone to this beautiful iftar. It is such a great night to come together to break our fast. As you know, Ramzan is a very special time for the Muslim community, and this year is very special for all of us, myself included. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Nahid Yacobian, and I'm the Ontario Liberal candidate in Aurora, Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill. And it is my pleasure to be here tonight as a young Muslim woman running to represent a diverse and vibrant riding in North Richmond Hill. It is so wonderful to have a moment to come together during this busy campaign to share stories and to celebrate our culture and what makes us special. Ramzan is a time that we express our commitment to our faith, but most importantly, to each other and to our communities. It's a time where we give back, and it's a time where we help those who need it most, where we show that we care for each other. And I am so pleased to be here tonight with the best few examples that I can think of that generosity and of that spirit. Mr. Muhammad Faki is our gracious host this evening. And we are also incredibly thrilled that Premier Kathleen Wynne could join us tonight. Now, I understand that I am one of the few people between you and Iftaar, so I will speak as quickly as I can. But it's really important to share a little bit of Muhammad's story. As you probably know, Muhammad has built an empire. He's grown his chain of restaurants from just one location 9 years ago, with plans to open his 75th this year. It's so incredible. And he's used his fortune to help others. Hundreds of newcomers have worked in his kitchens, including over 150 Syrian refugees. Most recently, he's joined forces with the UN Refugees Agency in Canada to raise money to support Rohingya refugees. And the Faki Foundation will support and match the highest donation amount raised by any business of one of the Paramount Fried Foods locations during Ramadan, which is really incredible. So that is the spirit of tonight. That is the best of us, that is the best of this celebration, and the best of what Ontario is about. So, it is my honor and my pleasure to welcome Mr. Muhammad Faki to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. That's getting better. Well, good evening, everyone. Ramadan Mubarak. I don't often get the opportunity to state my position publicly and strong, but I will tonight for sure. It's time to stand up in Ontario and to be counted. If the polls are right, Ontario is set to make a historic mistake next week. This is not right. I have always tried to stand up against injustice. And injustice is what's happening to Kathleen Wynne now in this election. So tonight I'm standing up for Kathleen Wynne. And I ask you to stand up and stand with me to vote Liberal next Thursday. Kathleen Wynne and the Liberals has presided over the best years of economic growth in Ontario in decades. Almost a million new jobs have been created. Unemployment is at historic lows. Can we please listen to each other? Thank you. Otherwise, no iftar tonight for sure. Provincial GDP growth is the strongest in North America. And this prosperity, unlike in the past and unlike in the other jurisdiction, it is a shared prosperity. Kathleen has increased the minimum wage so you can actually afford to live on it. She has made university and college free for lower and middle incomes family. She has made the prescriptions free for young people and seniors. We have gotten rid of dirty coal and embraced the clean solar and wind power while fixing our broken electricity system. Kathleen has invested in transit like never before. Real transit after nothing happened for decades, except for adding a single stop on Bloor Station and filling a big hole on Eglinton Avenue. I'm here to tell you that Kathleen Wynne has done a stellar job. She has been an exemplary performer. I'm proud to stand up and tell you all, she is my friend, and I am proud of her friendship. She is my premier, and I will stand beside her in the worst times and in the worst days, so let's make them better days because she deserves our support. Now, as a businessman, if she were a CEO and I was on her board, with the economic performance that she has showcased, I would be making an immediate motion to increase her salary and give her a huge bonus, and so we should all. But the polls are terrible. And why is that? Every time I stop, not because I lost the page, but because I want you to listen. The polls are terrible, yes. And why is that? I fear we live in an era of a bit of fake news and echo chambers where some people are buying a false bill of goods. They are being told the economy is failing. Well, it's not. When everybody said 2008 was a bad year, I started Paramount in 2007 and 8 and 9, and the most growth was under Kathleen Wynne. So the economy is not failing. That's a lie. It's growing better than ever in these years. Others, they say that the government is corrupt. Well, it's not. Kathleen had led a clean, scandal-free government above reproach. And even the stuff that we heard about, they were kicked out of the court in 2 seconds because they were not real. But when we watch Donald Trump every day on TV and on Twitter and everywhere, his antics get copied. And it's happening today in Ontario. People are being misinformed. People are being encouraged to make terrible, disastrous decisions that will harm them and their families. But we can do better in Ontario. Dr. Seuss said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better, and it's not. And Kathleen does care. That's why we need to care about this election. We have a duty to tell people, stop listening to the lies, the falsehoods, and the mean-spirited smears. Let's look at the facts, the strong economy. And last year we had balanced the budget. And this year, yes, we went into deficit. But let's learn the ABC of the business. People go in deficit to grow their companies. Home Depot is one of the most successful companies in the world, has the largest amount of debts today, and so Starbucks. So let's learn it at the ABC of the business. Let's teach them the ABC of the business. Good for you. You go in deficit to teach them and to grow this Ontario again. That's the way we invest in our province. You don't evaluate company on how much they owe. You evaluate them how much they grow and what their business is worth. That's simple rule in business. You can ask. So the province is in excellent shape. Let's don't listen. And you know why housing prices are strong and high? Because people want to live in Ontario. People want to live under Kathleen Wynne. People want to live under the Liberal. That's why the prices are high. Let me remind you, this great community is a great partner. And to me, from my heart, a great partner definition is the partner that stands beside you when there is a problem. Kathleen Wynne has constantly stood up for the marginalized, voiceless, and disadvantaged, for minority groups and minority rights. Let's don't forget that. Too often, unfortunately, in politics, people ask you to fight for their own rights, their special issue, but they don't like it when you fight and stand up for the rights of others. We need to learn to be less jealous and more inclusive in the province of Ontario. Kathleen has stood up for everyone. Let's open our minds, but most importantly, let's open our hearts and be more accepting for others, whoever they are, because the choices is clear. We will only vote for Kathleen Wynne. Well, she accepts everyone, and she has the experience. Or you could elect someone that his complete political experience amounts only for one term as a city councillor, or a man who only won a leadership with the support of the social conservatives, who first supported a woman in Mississauga Center that based her campaign on saying awful things about Muslim women. And the only way he kicked her out because she was caught talking about other things, but not because she was talking bad about the Muslim woman. Why should we elect a man who's making up policies on the fly and doesn't feel like we all deserve the respect that he will give us a platform that we can look into, right? So we don't need that. And last thing I have to ask you, if the voter of Toronto wouldn't trust him to be the mayor for their city, why would we give him our province and make him our premier? Well, or we can take another option and elect an ideological socialist who has already made a huge billion-dollar mistakes in her budget plan. We're not yet in the budget. She hasn't started spending the money, and there is billions of dollars mistake yet. Who will give over control to unions and whose party has destroyed Ontario last time it was in power. Well, no. This is the time where we can stand up and say no. We need to stop this, and we need to stop it now. We need to stand up for Kathleen Wynne. And I understand it sounds like we're just talking politics, but you need to tell your families, your friends, your colleagues, your associates that we support Kathleen Wynne. We need to tell them she's done a great job, she's been an excellent premier, and that Kathleen Wynne really cares. That's not what we're finding. We need people that really cares. There was a column in Toronto Star that resonated very well with me, because I always, when I took over my company, my team were saying, I made the changes so fast. I made too many changes. That columnist said, we don't deserve Kathleen Wynne in Ontario because she's done too much. That even if all her changes are good, it's still too much, because a change is scary. And she moves fast, but she moves fast because we need to move fast. That's how we run businesses. That's how you run government. That's how you run the province. Well, yeah, I agree. We do need a change. Yeah, definitely. We do need a change. We want a change. But not a change for the sake of a justice change that we don't understand what we're getting, who we're getting, how it's going to be, how it's going to look like. But we need a very smart change. We need a balanced change, the kind of a change that Kathleen Wynne has brought and she keeps bringing to the province. So we need to support one more time the Liberal Party and Kathleen Wynne the next 7 days. Kathleen epitomized on the Ontario I'm proud to be part of, an Ontario that's progressive and inclusive, hardworking and fair, articulate and compassionate, fiscally prudent, and always thinking about how she can improve the life of others. Brothers and sisters, I ask you to please understand, we might be making the biggest mistake in Ontario the next 7 days. I ask you to cast your vote for the Liberal Party and for Kathleen Wynne herself. And to show your leadership in your families and neighborhoods by telling everybody, you know, they need to vote Liberal next week to keep Ontario moving forward with Kathleen, to build a province where we care about others and we share our prosperity. So please don't make that mistake. Please think and never believe that the grass is greener on the other side. It's not. 90% of the people don't understand the best of what we live. We're living in a great province. We have great lives. Other provinces, they envy us. So don't be misled by everything is being said. Thank you very much for listening. Now I would like to thank definitely some of the VIPs in the room. I think Mayor Bonnie Crombie is late. I'm not sure if she's here. And my friend, Mayor Linda Jeffrey from Brampton, please stand up. Let's give her a round of applause. Council General from Turkey, please stand up. I think he left. Sultan Al Harbi, Council General of UAE, please stand up. Deputy Consul General from Pakistan, Mr. Wajid Hashimi, please stand up. I would like you to help me to welcome our amazing slate of Liberal candidates to the stage. And I'm gonna go with first name because they're all dear friends of mine, and we can do that. Indira, candidate for Milton. Indira Harris, please come to the stage. Come on, guys, let's get some excitement for these great, hardworking people. Amrit Mangat, candidate for Mississauga Malton. I know you haven't eaten, come on. Mazhar Shafiq, candidate for... I guess I didn't need to introduce Mazhar. Ibrahim Daniel. And Imran Mian. And someone that Imran. And someone I'll never forget, she actually drove all the way to London in the worst day of Friday afternoon, Deepika De Merla. Not yet? And Sabi Ahsan. No? Bobby Dade, Mississauga Center. And Nahid should be the first one to come on the stage because she started this event. Nahid Yakubian. Come on, let's give her a bigger round of applause. Come on. Vic Dillon. Safdar Hussain. And I know for a fact that Bob Delaney is joining us around 8:30, and my good friend Charles Souza is around 9 o'clock. Now I know I get you guys to listen. I don't have to say anything. It's now my great honor to stand up and be counted, and to introduce to you a very close to my heart friend that I take so much pride of my friendship with her, the person who I strongly believe is the best person to continue to be the premier of this great province, and the person you should all go and vote for next Thursday. And remember not to skip the advance vote and go and show up. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, stand up and help me welcome Kathleen Wynne.
Oh my goodness. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It is so humbling to be here, and I just want to thank every single one of you for being here. Ramadan Kareem, and I'm a bit overwhelmed by listening to what Mohammed Faki had to say. How amazing was that speech? And it wasn't amazing because he was supporting me and us. It was amazing because this is a man who has a vision of a fair society that comes from his heart and his life experience, and we are so, so lucky to have him here in Ontario. So lucky. When I was at the debate, yes, the first person I would see, because he was the closest to the stage, was Mohammed. He was right there. And at any point where I needed a smile, I just looked over to Mohammed, and he was smiling at me and encouraging me at every point. So I just want to say, Mohammed, thank you for being brave. It's not easy. It's not easy to stand up and say that this is what I believe, and it's really not easy to stand up and say, this is the person who I support, especially when it looks like the public discussion around that person is not positive. So it takes a special kind of courage for Mohammed to say this is what he believes and that he supports us, and I am so grateful to him for his support. Thank you so much. Now, why is this such an important election? Now, Mohammed went through, I'm not going to go through all of the things that Mohammed said, because what he said about the economy and the work that we are doing to keep the economy growing and the decisions that we have made about, yes, running a deficit in order to invest in growth and invest in the people of this province. He's talked about all of that, and he talked about it in a way that was so, so inspiring. But there is another reason that this is such an important election, and that is because we are in the context of a dialogue around division versus inclusion here in Ontario, here in North America, that is a real risk to the society that we have built. When we think about our society here in Canada and in Ontario, we all know that apart from Indigenous people, every single one of us came from somewhere else. We came from somewhere else to build a society that was different than the one that we left, that was more inclusive, that was based on a belief that just because you come from a different background doesn't mean that you can't build a social fabric that is strong. And in fact, I think we have gone one step farther. We've said that actually, because we come from different backgrounds, because we have different life experience, that is actually what makes us strong. And that's the society that we believe in. Everyone in this room believes that Ontario, I think, is the best place to live. Is that true? Do you all believe that? been all over this province in my job as the Premier. Just in the last year and a bit, I've traveled to all 124 ridings. And here's what I find. I find in Tim Hortons groups of men of a certain age who are solving the problems of the world. You know those men. You know, you go to a mall or go to a coffee shop in your community, and there's a group of men who are solving the problems of the world. And I love, Shamisa's nodding. I love talking to those men. You know, not all of them are going to vote for me. They don't necessarily like me at all, but they're always good-natured, and they'll always say, how are you doing? And we have a conversation. I've been to schoolyards across the province where young moms are dropping their kids off to school and they're having a conversation about whether they're hurrying off to work or whether they're taking the littler ones home, maybe because they've made a decision to stay at home with their kids, which is a wonderful decision, or maybe because they can't find childcare and they need some more help. And I've been to senior centers across the province where seniors are coming together. Some of them are doing sewing classes. Some of them are doing Zumba together. Some of them are simply talking, but they're there to help each other stay well and to keep the community strong. And I've been to mosques all over this province, and I have seen the way the Muslim community supports each other. I've seen, and particularly during Ramadan, but all year round, I've seen the supports that you put in place, how you reach out, you look after each other's children, you make sure that people have enough to eat, you make sure that the elderly in your communities, the aunties and the uncles, that they have the support that they need. That is happening all over the province. And I know that along with all of those images that are so positive and so much a definition of who we are as a society, there are also voices who want to divide us. There are voices who want to say that because we worship somewhat differently, because we speak different languages, or because our skin color is different, that somehow those are reasons that we should be critical of one another, that we should be hateful toward one another, and we reject that categorically. That is not who we are. That is not what we stand for. And I look out into this room and I see my teachers. My teachers are in this room. The people who 15, 16 years ago sat with me and said, we will support you and we will help you because you believe what we believe. And, you know, we will help you deal with the reality that in this community there may be some people who don't want to elect you because you're a woman or because you live with a woman, but we are a tolerant society, and Islam is a tolerant religion. Islam there is no religion that preaches hatred. There is no religion. Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity teaches inclusion. But it is the interpretation of and the cultural perversion of those religions that lead to hatred. And so I just say to you, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your belief in this society. Thank you for putting so much into your communities that we are stronger because of the work that you do and because of your presence in Ontario. We truly are stronger. And so, thank you. And so, Mohammed has asked you to stand up for me. And I will commit to you that I will continue to stand up for you wherever I am. I will explain why in the community that I represent, I stood up and helped the community understand why it was okay for kids to be able to pray at lunch. You know? And we need to protect one another. We need to protect one another against those forces that are trying to divide us. So, this election is very, very important because of the economy. It's very, very important because of the programs and the plans that we have for care to make sure that everyone has the child care, the home care, the seniors care that they need. It's very, very important because having a minimum wage that goes to $15 an hour means people don't have to go to the food bank. It's very important because of all of those things. It's also very important because the fabric of our society is inclusive and loving, and that's the Ontario that we have built, and that's the Ontario we want to continue to build. Thank you so very much.
I thought I wasn't the MC, but I guess I am now. So, well, we have two mayors in the room, and I would like to welcome Mayor Bonnie Crombie, that I'm very proud to be a chair on her new campaign to be re-elected. Well, to give you a couple minutes, I would like to introduce our second mayor in the room, a great friend, someone that get things done, right? Maybe you don't hear her a lot saying a lot of things, but she gets things done in Brampton. And our great friend, Mayor Linda Jeffrey, please.
Ramadan Mubarak. Salam alaikum. You know, I thought this was going to be a quiet little dinner that Mohammed was putting together. And I just want to say, Mohammed, you know how to throw a party, and you know how to kick it off, and you know how to excite people to do something extraordinary. And I want to thank the Premier for being here, and you have a great team. One of my old friends, Iftaar, is here, and I'm very excited for him. This is his first campaign, and I'm here because Iftaar actually worked on campaigns I had. So it's wonderful to see that transition and new beginnings. And I think Ramadan is one of those times when people are contemplative and you have a time to think, to quiet your mind, to think about what's important. And I think as the mayor of the city of Brampton, I think Mohammed talked about so many things that are important to me as a mayor. Somebody who cares about education and health care. This is an important election, and municipalities and mayors have a very important role to play. We have a responsibility to take care of your resources, whether they're fire halls or recreation centers, paramedics, clean water. All of those services are really important, and you need a provincial partner who will be there with you and work with you as a team. So I would agree with Mohammed that this is a very important time, and every single vote matters. And as a mayor, I ask you to choose the right team to help lead this province forward. And I wish you a very successful month. And I know this is a very challenging time for everybody to pay attention, because you're struggling with the hunger that comes, but there's a reward at the end of it. So thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to such an exciting, extraordinary evening. Thank you, Mohammed Faki.
Thank you, Mayor Jeffrey. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name's Imran Mian. I have the honor of introducing the next guest. But before I do that, let me take a moment to thank all of you for being here. And of course, thank the Premier for such fantastic remarks and your hard work. And everybody in this room who's been volunteering on the campaigns, different campaigns. I know there's a number of people here from Mississauga and Mills. I know my wife is here. Thank you so much, Kamal, for all your support. Muhammad talked about, in his remarks, he said it's about Kathleen Wynne. Of course, it's about Kathleen Wynne, but it's also about all of you. It's about your families, it's about your children, it's about our communities. And this election is so important because it's about all of us, it's about our future. And the only choice we have in this election is one where all the progress that's been made over the last number of years. Muhammad talked about the economy, the unemployment rate, and the alternative options are, slash and burn of Doug Ford, $6 billion. Imagine the types of services he's going to cut and slash. We don't want to go back to 2003 where we had to wait longer for our healthcare services. We don't want to go back to the era where our schools were closing. And we certainly don't want to go to an era where our kids can't go back to school. As somebody who went to York University for my business degree, we have a strike at York University, and it's so unfortunate that the NDP would not put the people first and would put their unions first and not go along with making sure that our students can continue to get their education. So that's why it's so important that we continue on this journey on June 7th and vote Liberal Party, Ontario Liberal Party in every single riding across the province. So let me take this moment to invite somebody who needs no introduction, who's been a fantastic mayor. I mean, Linda, you're a great mayor in Brampton, but we have the best mayor in Mississauga. No hard feelings. Our good friend, Bonnie Crombie, I think she arrived here in this, I just saw her here. Not only she's accessible, she's compassionate, she's passionate, she's anywhere, anytime, whenever you need her, she's there, whether it's the food banks, whether it's standing up to bigotry in Mississauga, in her city of Mississauga, there's no tolerance for intolerance. I am so proud to be a resident of Mississauga, and I'm so honored to call her a friend. Please help me welcome our mayor, Bonnie Crombie. 4 more years. Bonnie Crombie, please welcome.
Well, salam alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. That's quite a crowd you attracted, Mohammed. Oh my goodness, I thought I was coming for a little dinner with you. Well, just you and 700 of your best friends. I'm very honored to be here this evening, celebrate Iftaar dinner with you. When I was first elected mayor, I had the first Iftaar dinner, invited all the imams of Mississauga. Mohammed, it's time to do that again, I think. We have to do that. It even had me fasting for a day. I don't know how you do that. I have so much respect for your community, having to fast through these hot summer days. I tell you, I'm so proud of you and what you accomplish. Mississauga is such a vibrant, dynamic, and inclusive city. And yes, Imran just stole my line. We like to say everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed in Mississauga. And yes, we have no tolerance for any intolerance. And I think we have demonstrated that. We have demonstrated that many a time, whether we stood side by side with the community at the vigil when the 6 were killed in the mosque in Quebec, which I'd like to add that Mohammed did a great thing in assisting that mosque rebuild and assisting with the funeral for those 6 who had passed. We supported M103 as a council, and we were proud to do that and proud to stand up against Islamophobia. We're very proud to do that, and we stood up in support of the Meadowvale Islamic Center as well. So I think we have demonstrated, our council has demonstrated our support for the community, the beautiful South Asian community, where in Mississauga, Urdu is the #1 spoken language after English and French. That's right. And you're such a dynamic giving community at this time. Zakat is practiced and you give back in so many ways, whether it's cleaning up of community parks or fundraising for our local hospitals. And this is a very critical time of year right now. Shh, this is the commercial message. This is a critical time. You know what we are going through. And in Mississauga, we're not endorsing candidates. I'm not here to endorse anyone. We have our own campaign. It's called Mississauga Matters, just the way I know Mayor Linda Jeffrey thinks Brampton matters. And we're asking you to look closely at the platforms of all the parties. And I want you to look closely to see who is investing back into the engines that drive our economy, which are our cities. Which party promises not to download on the backs of the residents of our cities, which at the end of the day will mean property tax increases for all of you. We're asking you very closely to look at the promises and the commitments made with respect to infrastructure investments, to transportation investments, and health care. I have an LRT that's fully funded, thank compliments of the provincial government. I am so grateful because that LRT is an economic driver for me. It is driving businesses to Mississauga. It is driving condo development in the downtown core. It is revitalizing here Ontario, and it is revitalizing Port Credit. It is a key economic driver. Numerous companies have told me that they are locating their businesses on the Huron-Ontario corridor for one reason only, and that is because of that light rail train is going to pass by. Also, healthcare. How many of you waited in one of our beautiful world-class hospitals for treatment? Many of you had, because we have a critical, acute shortage for beds. Look for those parties who will invest, I know it's time, who will invest in our hospitals. We have a commitment to rebuild Trillium Hospital. We're getting 500 new beds, and that is a critical commitment. I want you to be sure. The party you vote for will bring those beds to Mississauga, as well as long-term care beds, and the promises that have been made to us are honored and committed. We are here tonight to celebrate Iftaar dinner, and the time is approaching very quickly. Let me just say how grateful I am to all of you for coming out tonight to celebrate with Mohammed as his closest and best friends. And now we'll continue. So Assalamu alaikum, shukriya, shukram, and Ramadan Mubarak once again. Thank you.
Now is what it really counts. We are going to break our fast. We have some buffet dinner at the back, and we have availability for prayer downstairs. The men will go to the left, and the women will go to the right. And I would like to also now invite the Imam to call Adhan. Thank you.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله